Hello, friends, and welcome to your weekly weather and horoscopes for this full moon week, brought to you by Astrologer and the International Academy of Astrology. My name is Jennifer Barish, and I want to say first, thank you for allowing me to be your cosmic guide this week as we walk through the stars and see what's going to happen. And yes, we have a big, juicy, powerful full moon that we will talk about. I've got 4 things for you to watch for, as well as the moon progressions through the week and horoscopes for each sign. So thank you for being here, and let's get going. This is the week of November 11th through 17th. So today is Monday, November 11th, Veterans Day in the U.S. So thank you, vets, for all that you've done for us here in the U.S. And so we'll be doing the forecast through the weekend, Sunday the 17th. This is a little different than our past forecast. I'm trying to line us up through the week a little bit better. So, so we're starting off, it's Monday, and that moon is in Pisces. Now, that moon is in the last degrees of Pisces, and you're like, well, what does that mean to me? Well, when the moon is in Pisces, things are a little quieter. Things are a little more like deep inside. So Pisces is a water sign, so think about deep waters. There may be more of a like in your head type of quality. People maybe aren't as chatty as normal. You may be interested in music or television or distractions, easy to get distracted. With the Pisces moon, it makes us a little more emotional. So you also may have found yourself yesterday and today a little bit weepy. That moon has been standing in the sky next to Saturn, and that gives it a somber kind of a tone. So if you've noticed that, hopefully you're kind of coming out of that this afternoon as we're heading, by the time this gets posted, it'll be about dinner time here on the East Coast in the U.S., and hopefully things will start building and you'll start feeling a little more energy. Now, speaking of energy, that moon overnight is going to move into Aries, and it is like day and night, the difference between a Pisces moon and an Aries moon. You are going to feel it. You're going to get a lift. You're going to wake up early and be like ready to run out the gate, ready to go. A big whoosh of energy on Tuesday and Wednesday. And that Aries moon is coming conjunct with the North Node. And what that signifies, you don't have to know any of that astrology, is that there's a decision coming up. So you're going to be asked to decide about something. There's going to be a course correction or a change of direction coming. So, if somebody brings up something, don't just brush it off. Notice if that's a new direction you need to go in, and you need to pay more attention to that. And that will happen on Tuesday and Wednesday this week, the 12th and the 13th. And then we're starting to move into, as we get into Wednesday night, Thursday. So Thursday morning, that moon is going to move into Taurus. And so Taurus is a yummy moon. That is an earth moon. We call that the yum yum moon. We're dialing into all of our senses, everything you can touch, taste, yummy foods, comfy sheets, fireplace, it feels good, a fuzzy blanket, a bottle of wine, some flowers, aesthetic value. And Taurus likes to be out in nature, so this might be a time that you get called to, or feeling called to get out in the trees, to go for a walk. If you're somewhere where it's still autumn and the leaves are changing, you might want to get outside and take part in that, because that's a good way to lean into the Taurus energy. So Thursday and Friday, that moon is in Taurus. It's going to be coming to hold hands in the sky with the planet Uranus, which is going to bring us some surprises, and I'll talk about that in our 4 things to watch for. And then, so past Taurus, over the weekend, our moon is going to be in Gemini. So Gemini energy, that's an air sign, another lift, more communicative. You're going to hear from people who want to gather and talk, and just real chatty kind of energy. Lots of cerebral thinking, figuring out problems, figuring out puzzles. And the cool thing about that is this weekend energy is going to be holding hands in the sky with Jupiter, the planet of good luck and expansion and growth. So all this chatty quality is going to help you grow in some way. So I want you to be looking for that. Be on the lookout. Is this a direction that you want to grow in? And alternately, don't overcommit this weekend. With Jupiter there, sometimes we can overdo it. You know, we have too much junk food. It gives us a tummy ache. Too much to drink. It gives us a headache the next morning. So with Jupiter, it's lots of good luck. It's like Santa Claus bringing gifts over the weekend when that moon is in Gemini. And there might be 2 things that you want to do. And that's cool. Just make sure that you book enough time to do those 2 things. So that is the moons this week, and you can get a moon tracker to put on your phone that will help you know, but you can look up where the moon's at. If you go to astro.com, it'll tell you what sign the moon is in. It changes every 2.5 days. The moon signifies our emotional body, and so when you track the moon, you kind of know who's going to be in a funk and who's going to be in good shape. If you know some people around you, their signs, then you're going to have an understanding of who's going to be at their best and who might be at their worst, right? Okay, so days to watch this week. Well, today being Monday is the first day to watch. Venus has just switched signs. She has ingressed into Capricorn. So she moved from Sagittarius, a fire sign, into Capricorn, an earth sign. More pragmatic, more stable, more practical type of sign. She'll be there through December 5th or 6th. And so what you may notice, okay, in your life, so we're getting to practical things, is that relationship issues settle down. When Venus moves into Capricorn, Venus signifies what we love, who we love, what we're passionate about, you know, how we spend our time, what we want, and how we spend our money, or alternately, how we save our money. So you may notice that relationship issues or problems, it could be, with your honey, it can be with your mom, it can be with a coworker, but things are going to start to settle down, and people are going to start looking at things more realistically. The same with money issues. Maybe you've been spending too much money this fall through Halloween, and you're going to notice things are just going to start settling down, and that's good. So, Capricorn, think about that. So we're going to be moving into Capricorn season right after the holidays, and that's when things start to really get cold, right? And we go into freezing weather, and if you think about the animals outside, they are burrowing in, they are hibernating. The squirrels right now are storing their acorns for winter. That's what we should be doing with this energy. Winter is coming. There's a feeling of scarcity. So we have to save up what we have. Things take a more serious tone, being more responsible, having a maturity or a wisdom within relationships, or thinking about what we're passionate about or how we spend our time or money. So you're in this for the long haul whenever you're thinking about Venus and Capricorn. It's that feeling of like long-term results and commitment energy, being an adult. It is adulting season, people. If you didn't know it, it's coming for you. So when Venus moves into Cap, it also creates this really nice relationship with the planet Saturn. And Saturn is like the old man of the zodiac. He is the fun governor. He's coming with the rules, saying, did you do what you're supposed to, like the high school principal. And so when Venus has this positive relationship with Saturn in the sky, it's called a sextile, but it is offering the wisdom of the wise one, the grandfather, and these two are in a condition called mutual reception. It means they can trade places a little bit. Venus is exalted in the sign Saturn is in, Pisces, and Saturn loves alternately being in Cap. So that means Venus can become a Pisces Venus, and Saturn can go into Capricorn, that more pragmatic, practical, sticking to the rules, getting the work done, keeping your head down, persevering, working through the problems. They can trade places. So significations of this mutual reception is building things, doing hard things, finding discipline, increasing your stamina, your focus, your integrity. And it's not bad, okay? Those might be words you're like, oh, I don't want that right now, Jen. But Cap loves beautiful things. If you want to find a person who has the best taste, who can decorate, who knows what finery is, who can spot a fake. So I'm thinking about like Gucci or one of those high-end products. Like a Cap knows the quality. They can look at the stitching and tell you if something's real or it's not real. They know real quality and they only want the finest. So think about that in relation to what you love or how you spend your time or money. You're building something that is beautiful and lasting. So maybe like you're doing a little remodeling. In my house, we have been remodeling our finished basement. We had carpet, and I have this cat, Oreo. Sometime I'll show you a picture. Oreo is 12 years old, and he likes to throw up on our carpet. And so we had to replace this carpet, and we bought a vinyl laminate, which you can put in a basement. It looks like hardwood floor. It's beautiful, but we have been working to install this thing, and we are almost done. Like, we are doing trim work. We are all the little corners and edges and closets, and I just know that whenever Venus is in Capricorn, we're going to get it done. We're going to get the work done because we are making something beautiful and hopefully more lasting that the cat can't throw up on, you know, and then I can just mop it up instead of having to get the carpet cleaner out. So poor Oreo, but good for us. Venus and Cap, I perceive, will be helping me to finish remodeling and decorating in my basement. So that's the first thing to watch for. And then the second thing happens on Tuesday, November 12th. We have Mercury and Saturn coming into a not so nice aspect. It's called a square. It's a 90-degree angle, and it's kind of like hitting your leg on the coffee table or bumping your foot into something. It hurts. It feels bad. You scream inside for a minute, and you might just have to sit down. Okay, so hopefully it won't be that painful. Mercury is how we think. It's our communication. It's all of our mental processes. It can also be transportation, so watch out for your car and accidents. Squaring Saturn is coming up against the boundaries, coming up against the rules, the restrictions, you know, the time frames. Saturn is the timekeeper. He's the fun governor, and he's saying, you know, there's a problem. A monkey wrench gets thrown in the wheel. A problem presents. There is frustration, delays. You have to go back to the drawing board with something. Maybe it's a project at work and you did this proposal and you thought it was going to be wine and roses and everybody was going to love it. And now all of a sudden there's all these questions and you have to start again. However, I want you to think about Mercury being in Sagittarius. You may not know, but Sag is a very creative sign. They are optimistic. They can figure out how to switch gears in a pinch. They are problem solvers coming up with creative solutions. That Mercury in Sag is a fire sign and highly creative. So I want you to lean in to your mental body when you're feeling a little funky about whatever the monkey wrench gets thrown in. You can work your way through this. You're going to come up with a creative solution. You're going to be a big picture thinker. You're going to be able to look ahead, think optimistically about all the ways it can go right, and see the bigger picture, the eagle eyes view of what needs to be done, how to move this problem forward, okay? Saturn is narrow-minded. He's trying to think about all the ways things can go wrong and how to shut things down. So the more you can light up the energy with Sag, get excited, make it an adventure, you know, just like be a cheerleader, get excited about this problem, turn it into an opportunity, a stepping stone onto the next, an adventure. The quicker you'll be able to work through this problem that's going to present. And it could be today, because we're one day from when they come exact. It can be on Tuesday the 12th. It can be on Wednesday the 13th. So try to stay in that Sagittarius energy. And if you don't know what all that is, you got a phone, Google it. It can tell you. Okay. Third thing, and I'm talking a little faster because I don't want to take up all of your time, but I want to make time for our horoscopes this week. Third thing is On Friday, Friday's the day to watch for, kids. It is the day that you want to be paying attention because we have two things happening. We have Saturn going direct, which we're going to talk about, and then we have that big old full moon coming. So Saturn has been in retrograde since June 29th or 30th. That's been a minute. I'm telling you this because I want you to look back at a problem or a place where you have felt stuck. Maybe it's a relationship issue. Things have been stagnant. They're not moving forward. I'm here to tell you when Saturn goes direct, maybe not exactly on Friday the 15th, but as we head into the holiday season, now it could very well happen that something moves forward. It happens at 9:21 a.m. here East Coast time. Where I am, so that's in the morning on Friday morning, but a new chapter is beginning, and you're going to notice it over the coming weeks. This thing that has been stuck, that's been delayed, that there have been time issues about, that, you know, it's just been problem after problem after problem, and I want you to notice that theme, that unsticking theme this week. First, Mercury squaring Saturn, and it's mental, and you got to figure it out. Well, then Saturn goes direct, and Saturn saying, okay, I'm on board now too. It was just Mercury with Sag, but now Saturn's saying, yeah, let's go. It's a new chapter. A new storyline is moving forward, and you have been refining something, revising, repairing, reflecting, and it's been something that's serious. It's something that's important, has been significant to you. So I'm thinking of a certain relationship in my life where there's been a problem and it has just been like flatline problem. Just like every conversation is just bad. So I'm so hopeful Saturn going direct is going to help that relationship. I think that maybe this little time since the end of June has given us some time to think about, to reflect. Maybe you've gathered some new insights, and now it's time to go to the next level. And so as we move into the next few weeks, into Thanksgiving, into December, I want you to notice how some things have changed, or, you know, now there's an opening. Maybe the door's not all the way open, but maybe there's a crack. There's an opening, and you're both looking at things differently. There's more wisdom. There's more maturity about it before. Emotions aren't so heated and hot. This could be a relationship. It could be something at work that you've been ticked off about, a problem there. You know, they're not treating people fairly, but now there's a door opening. And it could be your own emotional, psychological, or spiritual growth. You know, you have just felt like everything is, the wheels have fallen off of the machine, and you just have been feeling like things aren't working. I have a friend whose parent passed away, and you know, her practices have just not been good, and now her body is in a lot of pain. I'm a yoga teacher, and so we talk about these things. And so in order to stay flexible, you have to practice. And so maybe it's time for you to come back to your practice, and not necessarily yoga, but whatever the ways are that you take care of yourself. With Saturn moving direct, he's helping to push you forward too. So I want you to think about that door opening and this new chapter that's coming up somewhere in your life. And then the fourth thing to watch for this week, Friday, November 15th, we have that big old full moon. It's going to be exactly full at 4:28 p.m. here on the West Coast at 24 degrees Taurus. So that's a hot degree. I want you to look at your chart if you know how and see if anything is 24 degrees, because that is being activated. That planet is being activated in your chart. So look for 24 degrees. So let's talk a second. Let's go back to the new moon, the beginning of this cycle, when both the sun and the moon were holding hands in the sky in Scorpio, right? So at the beginning of the cycle, we were digging in, we were getting all the gunk out, we were clearing, we were popping the zit, cleansing, we were removing obstacles. And maybe you've spent all month removing obstacles, right? Okay, so that's where we've been, and that's what we've been working on. Now, this full moon, so powerful. It is time to shine, friends. It is filled with accomplishment and personal achievement. but it's also full of surprises. So it is conjunct or holding hands in the sky with the planet Uranus. And this is the planet of quick change, of lightning, of beating to your own drum, of stepping off the beaten path. It's the weirdo planet. It's where your inner weirdo lives. So look where Uranus is in your chart, and it'll give you some indicator about what's being activated for you. This moon is liberating you. It's saying it's time to come out of the closet. You have done all the clearing and the cleansing, and it is time to take your show out on the road. We have a theme of freedom, of liberation, illumination. We're learning something. Also some rebellion and defiance. So somebody might be acting out a little bit as they are breaking out of the shackles. You may be freeing yourself from something, whether you have, it's been a self-imposed thing or someone else has been restricting you. Notice, see, Saturn's helping that to happen too, that planet of restriction, moving you toward the next level. And this full moon is full of aha moments, epiphanies, downloads, breakthroughs. You know, something just comes to you and all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, that's it. That's the solution. That's what can happen with this new or full moon. So I want you thinking about Taurus now. So Taurus energy with this full moon, which is opposite in the sky from the sun in Scorpio. So they stand apart. They're being pulled apart from each other. So you may be feeling like you're being pulled apart during the full moon. How do you handle that energy, friends? Lean into the wisdom of the body. So Taurus is the sign of Buddha. If you're a yogi, it's do your yoga, do your meditation. Sit for a while. Try to get your mind clear. Get out in nature. And you say, Jen, I am not a yogi. I don't know what you're talking about. Go outside. That's the first thing you can do. Do things that make you feel good. One thing is go walk barefoot out on the earth. Get connected to the earth in some way. That's going to help you feel more grounded, okay? You might also feel like some comfort foods. Mashed potatoes, macaroni and cheese, cornbread, whatever you like. This may be the end of the week, maybe time for that. It's pasta night. We need a little lasagna in our life. The yum yum factor always comes during a Taurus moon. Somebody's ready to bake cookies, or you go over to your friend's house and guess what? They've got all the sweeties. I am telling you to indulge in it this weekend. It will be delicious and it will make you feel so good. Other things you can do. Build a little sanctuary for yourself, and not just for the full moon. Our world is so crazy right now. Things are so busy, so hectic. We have so many things with these phones, with social media. You know, we're involved in so much. If you have a planner, you probably have a million things in it. Sometimes we need a quiet space. This full moon is saying, seek the inner quiet, okay? Whether it is spending time alone or making a little sanctuary for yourself, a quiet corner, you know, taking a room like I did and turning it into your yoga room. Maybe it's your reading room. Maybe you need a room with a couch in it where you can just go veg out. I want you to redo some space. Maybe it's in your basement. Even if it's unfinished, you can wall off a little place. They make, I know on Amazon, you can find wall dividers even if you don't want walls, and you can create a little corner just for you, a place you can go to relax, a place that you can go to unwind and just get away from everything for a while. So I want you to think about, where do you find sanctuary? And seek that, my friends. It's going to make you feel better on this full moon, but really next year. And we have a nice forecast, so let's do a little commercial for Diane Trimbath here at Astro College is doing a 2025 forecast that you won't want to miss. It's the first part of January. And it is going to be a crazy year. So having a sanctuary and getting things in place now and starting a little routine for self-care, that's going to help you so much going into the new year. Okay, so other things about this full moon. There's some flavor of building for the future, getting focused, and standing your ground. So this morning I was listening on the radio and I heard Bob Seger's song. I like classic rock. Bob Seger's song, Like a Rock. And it reminded me of this full moon. And it just kept saying, like a rock, I'm going to stand there strong. Like a rock, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be dependable. I'm going to be committed. I'm going to stay the course. So all those kinds of words that go along with Taurus. Where are you like a rock? Or maybe identifying who are the rocks in your life, who help hold things together. Sometimes it's grandma, it's grandpa, sometimes it's a aunt or uncle, sometimes it's a friend who helps to hold you together. And I want you to reach out and appreciate and love on the rocks in your life. They're important people. Because there's one more crazy aspect, if we don't have enough, that go with this full moon. And that is this star. It's a fixed star. It's called Algol. And what it has to do with is losing your head, losing your cool. So in other words, losing your temper and losing control. So I want you, if somebody triggers you over this full moon period, to step back and assess the situation. Try to just analyze it and don't react just yet. Just try to see what they're doing. Count to 10. You know, anything you can do to stop that instant reaction. Don't lose your head over something, because you might wish that you hadn't. And then last but not least, one beautiful little aspect about the full moon. Some astrologers don't use this, but it's called a quintile. It's a magical aspect, and it is giving an extra little, I don't know, flavor. It's working with Saturn, this quintile, and it is adding maturity and patience, and it's like just things work, and you don't even know how they work. So maybe you go into the end of the week and you've got a ton of stuff to do and you're going, I don't know how I'm going to get all this done, Jen. I just can't. And you just feel like you're ready to shut down. I've been there. I know. It's been a hectic fall. Things are going to work out. This full moon says things are going to work out. You're going to be able to get it all done and achieve what your goals are, whatever that is. Cleaning out the closet, me finishing my basement, cleaning out the car. Maybe you've got a big work project coming up, whatever that is. You're getting an extra punch of perseverance, of follow through, of just getting the work done and being patient with the process. So I want you to know that that's there for you. And you can be like a rock, and this full moon is going to help you to get something done, and it's going to have some little surprises along the way. So try to be flexible. That's the best thing I can say about this full moon, or really any full moon. All right, so now on to the horoscopes. So Aries, you need to be reviewing your budget this week. You need to identify areas where you can cut out unnecessary expenses. Maybe you've been considering taking on an extra job, maybe like a holiday, seasonal type of job. I want you to start making steps toward it, or just one step toward it. Whether that's updating your resume or starting to actually look out on Indeed or LinkedIn or wherever and seeing where the jobs are, okay? I also want you to get grounded, and if you are into things like yoga, you know what that means, but if not, go walk barefoot in the grass or do some sensory thing, like even taking a bath can be good for you, Aries, because you need to calm down. If anybody's going to lose their head this new moon, it is you, so you need to hold it together to stay centered. So any sensory type of practices that you can do, even just sitting in your chair and working your way through from head to toe how your body feels. Feeling the top of your head into your face, your shoulders, your arms, your trunk, your legs, down to your feet. That's a grounding practice, Aries. Do that so you don't lose your head. All right, Taurus. This week I want you to take time for self-care. You might consider a mini makeover. You might consider refreshing your wardrobe. You're feeling a little insecure. So it's time to take care of you and outer self, but more so inner self, okay? You've had some self-limiting beliefs that you need to release. Some insecurities, you need to let them go, okay? I want you to get a little piece of paper, Taurus, and I want you to write down these insecurities, and then I want you to take it out to the fire pit and burn it up and let it go. Practicing anything that helps to bring you self-acceptance. There are rituals that you can find. There are affirmations. Think of Hay House and Louise Hay, beautiful affirmations. You know, Taurus, you love to build things, and think about, what are you building? It might be a really good time to journal. Anything that will reinforce your self-confidence and letting go of those things that make you feel bad or guilty or somehow insecure. You know, this full moon is triggering that, and so it's time to say, no, not today. We're not having that during this full moon, and find a little ritual that helps you to let that go, Taurus. Gemini, this week, you need some quiet time. Things are going to be busy over the weekend. And so this week, you need time for reflection. Journaling would be excellent for you, Gemini. This full moon is saying you have just about burnt yourself out and you need some rest. You need to prioritize winding down, limiting screen time, clearing any mental clutter. I want you to consider taking a technology break, at least just one day this week, having a mini retreat at home where you just read or listen to soothing music, ways that you can get really internal and reconnect with yourself, and kind of block out the world. That's what you need this week, Gemini. So I want you to be looking for ways to do that and taking care of yourself. All right, Cancer, this is a week to reconnect with your friends and your groups and the people that you connect with, that you have shared values and passions. I want you to also consider doing a digital detox, because I think it'd be good for you during a Taurus full moon. But also fixing your feed, like your social media feed, things that uplift you. So if there are people in your social media that bring you down, Cancer, you need to get rid of them, okay? I want you to think about things that make you feel good. I want you to reflect on your long-term dreams and write down. So here's your job. Here's your homework, Cancer. Write down 3 steps you can take to get closer to your goals, to your hopes, wishes, and dreams. You could even vision board this week. You know, thinking about the new year. It's always a good time to vision board, but Cancer, this would be an especially good practice for you in this Taurus full moon week. Next, we have Leo. I want you to review your professional goals. Are you happy with your standing out in the world? Do you like the way you're shining? Okay, if not, it's time to update your resume, your portfolio. It's time to get out there and think about ways you can showcase your accomplishments and talents. Maybe it's time to network or attend a conference or some kind of event where there are going to be your kind of people that are in your profession. You need to get out and mingle and network with the people, okay? If you're feeling stressed this week, it's time to build some boundaries. You may have been working too much, and it's time to protect your personal life a little bit and build some boundaries and say no, okay? Reward yourself, Leo, when you do make those small changes and moves, like making a little treat for yourself, or stopping by the coffee shop and picking up a cookie, or just taking a break, okay? Reinforce your progress as you build boundaries. So work-life balance is important, but this week you're going to be thinking about your profession, your job. Are you happy? Are you ready to make some changes? And what's something that you can do to start going in that direction? So that's your week, Leo. Virgo, this week you need to engage in an activity that broadens your perspective. Read a book on a new topic, visit a museum, an art museum, attend a workshop. You know, there's all kinds of online workshops. Go do a new fitness class you've never done before, Zumba. Come do a yoga class, you know. Weightlifting. Taurus energy is notorious for being really good at weightlifting, so that may be something you haven't tried before. Reflect on any beliefs that no longer resonate with you and think about ways you can welcome new perspectives in. So having an open mind, it's important. You're going to need it this week. With that Uranus energy, something new is coming in for you. And you need to be thinking, Virgo, about, rather than being judgmental and like, what are all the problems, which that's Virgo's way, but how can you be open? How can you learn something new? How can you broaden your horizons, okay? Planning a trip for next year or going on a little adventure would be a very good remedy for you for this full moon. So keep that in mind if you're feeling a little funky, Virgo. Next, we have Libra rising. And I say rising because I like to do horoscopes for rising signs. I think they're more accurate. You can use sun sign and moon sign too, but I really want you to know what your rising sign is and then follow that horoscope. So for Libra rising, I want you to go through your shared financial obligations or your joint assets. And it could be like combing through the checkbook and trying to resolve things, okay? It might be time to get a financial advisor, an accountant, or set up a savings plan. There's some long-term goal planning here, and you've got to collaborate with people that are helping you to manage your money, okay, for the long term. I want you to journal about any fears or insecurities that you have as well, because there's some issues coming up about your values or how you feel about yourself. You know, this week is a week of emotional empowerment for you, Libra. And so how do you get there? Well, it might be phone a friend time, but it also might be just doing some journaling and getting real quiet and being able to think about, how I'm feeling. So it's joint efforts with money, but also this like self-worth, valuing yourself. You are your greatest resource, Libra. And so I would like for you to identify what are 3 of your best qualities. I think that is a good thing for you to take into this full moon. So if you start feeling a little insecure, you're like, no, I'm really good at this and this and this. And that would be able to help you get through this full moon energy. Next, we have Scorpio. Scorpio, this is a week of relationships for you. Attention on partnerships and all your close connections, okay? You may be making a decision about a relationship. It might be time to either, cut sails and fly or make a commitment. I want you to take time to communicate openly with your people, your significant other. Noticing patterns in relationships, maybe setting some boundaries or setting an intention to connect on a deeper level. Creating a gratitude list would be a good way to spend the full moon, Scorpio. And you probably say, well, that's dumb. I don't want to do that. Okay, you don't have to write it down, but inside of yourself, like, what are you grateful for? 1, and how do you take care of yourself? 2. This could be a good time for self-care. That full moon may feel even more so. That sun, is opposite the moon, and the sun is shining in your chart right now. And, you may need to find opportunities to relax. So how do you relax, Scorpio? I want you to seek that for yourself during this full moon. Sagittarius. Sagittarius, your daily routines are under review this week. What feels sustainable? What's not working? What has fallen apart? So for me, I'm a Sagittarius rising, and I was sick here a few weeks ago, like really sick. I had like walking pneumonia. I don't know if it started off as COVID and just got worse. I've heard that's happened. But I was really, so all of my routines are off. Like I have not been doing my self-care practices. I am not eating right. I was eating M&Ms yesterday. I had pizza the day before. I've been drinking Coke. It's bad, guys. I got to get it together. So I'm going to use this full moon energy to get my daily routines back in order. So I ask you, what's falling apart for you? Maybe you need to clean your desk at work. Maybe you need to do some meal prepping. So this is a time to pay attention to your body. If you're having aches and pains, you're not moving enough, okay? If you have a toothache, it's time to call the dentist. You know, if you're having headaches, have you been on social media? I want to hold up my phone. You know, that blue light, is it bothering you? Have you been on, maybe you need to get your eyes checked and go get some new glasses. So paying attention to your health this week and your routines is going to be so important to you, because we don't want you to get sick, okay? And I'm not saying you're going to get sick. I'm just saying there's a focus on health and wellness. So looking at your supplements, have you been taking your vitamins? Are you taking your probiotics, getting ready for winter? You know, I am all about herbals, and so I'm not a doctor, but I would through my Ayurvedic experience, I would advise, you know, garlic and ginger tea and turmeric. Those are all ways that you can stay healthy. So anyway, looking for your routines and ways that you can take care of yourself. It's important for you this week, Sag. Now, Capricorn, creativity is important for you this week. You may be feeling a little more creative, more so than usual. Also, romance, childlike expression. So maybe that's working with your children or playing games. It could be that, but it could also be just feeling like youthful and young again, and like you just want to play, you know, kind of fun and games type of energy. So that may feel a little out of sorts, Capricorn. You're one of our adults and grown-ups of the zodiac, but I want you to just let yourself play. Have fun with it. Don't feel guilty like you're wasting time, like you could be. This is important. So creativity is the name of the game, fun and games this week. Consider a date night, even if it's just with yourself, doing something you love to do, going dancing, going painting, you know, that painting with a twist where you go out and do the group painting. That could be fun. Or cooking your favorite meal. They even have workshops where you go and you cook a meal with a group and they teach you how to do all the ingredients. Something like that that's just like, you know, I've always wanted to do that and I never make time for it. Cap, this is the week. Make time for it, friend. It will serve you well during this full moon. And then we have Aquarius. Aquarius, it's all about home for you this week. You are going to be assessing your nest, your home spaces, whether that's at home or your work home or your car or where you spend time. So I want you to think about tidying up your living space and also adding little cozy touches that can make it feel more nurturing. Maybe you haven't decorated for fall yet, or you've been thinking about getting started on, if you're celebrating Christmas or Hanukkah, your holiday decorations. This could be also as simple as just getting a little fall candle and lighting your candle, rearranging your furniture, starting an indoor garden. They have those little herbal gardens you can put in your kitchen, and it has a grow light on it, and then all the herbs will grow and you can have fresh herbs. So something about home. Okay, home and family, or maybe something's going on with somebody in your family that you need to resolve something with. Maybe there's some emotional baggage that you need to handle with someone. You need to clear the air before Thanksgiving. So I want you to be thinking about that, home and family topics this week, and trying to find balance and resolving some of those things, rebuilding something new, because remember, that door is open, so now is the time. So last but not least, we have Pisces. So Pisces, this week, we're focused on communication, on learning, and local connections. So you may have found something local, you know, a karate class, a Tai Chi class, something that just struck your fancy and you're like, oh, I want to go and do that. Go talk to them. This is the week to get out there in your local community. You also might be writing, speaking, or studying about something, thinking about communication. So go ahead and do that. This is a good week for those activities. Write out your thoughts about things that interest you. You could also, like I said, join a local activity like a book club, you know, would be nice, or a coffee meetup, starting to build your connections, because there's some yearning to be able to get out there and mingle and network with other people. So you may feel a little self-conscious, a little fearful, maybe not feeling like speaking up or showing up. I want you to say none of that. I want you to push yourself out of your comfort zone, Pisces, and go and get involved in something. It's going to make you feel better, especially during this full moon. Having others of like-minded company is going to be comforting for you. So see if you can create that environment for yourself. Okay, so that's it, friends. That's our horoscope and our things to watch for this week. One more little plug-in. I want to tell you about a class that we're doing at Astro College. The same person who's doing our 2025 forecast, her name is Diane Trimbath. She is a wonderful astrologer out of the Cleveland, Ohio area. You will love her. She is doing a Mars Retrograde workshop, which is going to be on Friday night. It's at 8 o'clock East Coast time. So you're like, Mars Retrograde workshop. What are we talking about, Jen? Okay, so you've heard of Mercury retrograde, right? So that's getting ready to happen too. So just forewarned, it's coming in the next few weeks. Well, we have Mars going retrograde. And when Mars goes retrograde, it's like our gas pedal gets stuck. So Mars is how we assert ourselves. It's how we move forward in life. It is how we get things done. It's going retrograde. It's getting stuck. This happens December 6th. Oh, great. Right in time for the holidays, all the way through February. So we are going to be realigning our motivations, our drive, how we act out on our desires, our forward motion. We're going to be in a realignment mode. How we expend our energy. This retrograde is asking us to slow it down, to reflect. And Diana is going to have all kinds of tips and tools and tricks for you to be able to work with this, because it also has something to do with realigning our creative potential. So what is your creative potential for 2025? Have you even thought about that? What would you like to create? What do you want to manifest? This all comes with Mars, because this is our gas pedal and how we move forward. She has a horoscope for each of the 12 signs, but she's going to talk on a bigger basis, like what this means as Mars is retrograde, not only through the sign of Leo, but also through the sign of Cancer, which has something to do with home and family too. So there's going to be issues, Leo and Cancer type issues that are going to be coming up, and you're going to want to know, how do I deal with that? Diane is going to teach us how. So I hope you will join me at Astro College this Friday night, November, when did I say? The 15th. Friday, November the 15th at 8 o'clock. You can sign up if you get on our social media, and in our bio we have a link, and I'll add it to this YouTube video so that you can see how to sign up for that. Come and learn with us. Diane would love to give you some information about how you can weather this Mars retrograde season better than ever. So thank you for your time, for our almost 50 minutes together this week learning about the moons, the astrology, and the horoscopes. And come and check out our community at Astro College, and forgive my doggies for barking. They must see somebody outside. So have yourself a great week, and I will see you this time next week. Take care. Make this full moon work for you. Use this advice. Oh, and go sign up for our newsletter. You want to know why? Because I'm going to put the actual chart of the full moon up so you can see what it looks like and start to see some of these connections, and maybe you know how to look at that, but I'll have some of this stuff in writing. And our newsletter tells about all of our cool astrology classes that are going to be coming up in the next few months. And with our spring season, all of our new courses are beginning at Astro College, so maybe it's time to come and learn astrology. So come check it out. I will see you soon. Have a great week. Happy full moon. Bye, friends.